Hey guys, welcome back to the Phoenix Podcast. I'm Brandon McDevitt.
I'm Tiffany Piper.
And I'm Fanny Couch. Today, we're going to be talking about cyborgs and if we think that that's the road we're headed down. Or is Brandon just crazy?
Yeah, maybe. Dude, I'm telling you, Neuralink, it's in progress. All right, let's just imagine. Let's imagine, right? Story time. All right,
No.
it's 2020, maybe. I don't know how close. 2047. That feels right. Now, why have cell phones? No need. What's a cell phone? What is this piece of garbage? Because everything's in our head.
Isn't the person who, head of Microsoft, wants to start people putting microchips in their wrists to use to buy?
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates?
I don't know
Yeah.
about Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Wants us to put microchips into our wrists to buy and do stuff.
I don't know about that. But what I do know is that Elon is working on it right now. Like, I don't know, man. I could definitely see like us using microchips in our wrists. That's definitely a possibility. Most definitely a possibility.
Man, you're not wrong.
I just don't like the idea.
You're the door, look out! Hey, we're trying to podcast.
Okay,
I'd like you to cut that out. Thank you. Sorry to
Yeah. Easy.
I just don't like the idea that already the government can like watch you through your phones and stuff. Anything that could probably be connected by satellite, they could probably already track you. So to give them like be able to pinpoint you from anywhere in the world and like they like anywhere you're at is very scary. A very scary thought because
But is it?
not every government's going to use it for the right reasons. Every government is going to be corrupted in some way, shape, or form. So do you want
Here's my thought. I see what you're saying but why? We're average nobodies. Why would it matter if they know where we are? If you're committing a crime, there's a problem there because you don't want them to know where you are.
But Brandon,
I'm totally fine with them knowing I walked like
protesting just
3
because
feet to my
they're
bathroom.
safety. You think that people are going to want to put a chip in themselves willingly and let
And, like,
everybody
you
see
have-
where they are at all times?
and something
We are
also,
in sense already cyborgs.
Brandon, but there's also these religious people who that's against their religion to do that. So if that were to
Hey,
happen,
that's
eventually it's going to get to the point where they can't eat, and so you're putting these people who have religions to where you can't. You already have these hardcore people who you can't have tattoos, you can't eat certain such and such a thing, you can't mark your body, you can't put stuff in your body that isn't already supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So for you to put a microchip would be against their religion, and there's multiple religions where they talk about, oh, there's going to be a day where they're going to try to track you everywhere you are. Well,
How about it?
microchips kind of
I think
is-
our phones, like, people are so dependent on their phone for, like, everyday things.
exactly.
People typically forget that. So basically, you're already tracking someone
Exactly.
willingly. But here's the thing. A phone is not connected to you. It does not physically have to use you at all times. And that's why people are okay with it. And most people don't know that they can be tracked by their phones just willingly by the government. Like, that information is free to anyone with basic hacker and software that you need. So just
Yeah, but
putting something in you is such a bigger deal to a lot of
it's
people.
a lot more intimate in that perspective.
yeah, it's fully optional. I'm totally,
Brandon, imagine it like a virgin doing it for the first time. It's literally like, I hate to put it that way, but it's like, it's like that's a really serious thing, and it's exactly like that, because yes, it can't be undone.
No. If it gets undone,
Right.
if you were
If it
to
gets undone, you're in trouble too. So,
Yeah,
not the other
if
case, but in this case, cyborg case.
If it gets undone, you're stuck with a scar. Like, yeah, a little shot's gonna.
And they were able to
heal.
track it at one time. And don't you think the government's gonna be like, 1 to 10, it's 10. You're gonna take that crap out. That's staying there.
Look. Here's the thing. We've normalized vaccines.
Mhm.
Vaccines have been regularized to where schools require you to enter with vaccines.
Vaccines
Right.
not
So-
widely entertained as we're giving you the virus directly. That's not how it's entertained. It's entertained as a diluted version of it to help you. My father took the flu vaccine every year of his life, and he has gotten it so many times it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's at least once a year. My siblings and I are not anti-vax. We just don't take the flu vaccine anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't gotten it once in my entire life. Any of my siblings have either.
Yeah, and I gotta say, yeah, we took the vaccine every once in a while, but we're not very avid with it. But as children, my dad said you guys need to build up your immune system. So he told us the way he did it was, he told us to play out on dirt and mud. He told us that you're not going to die if you play out in dirt and mud. Just don't eat it.
Dogs that, like, if you have dogs or animals that are, like, freely going in and out of the house can actually, like, help a child's immune system, like, by so much. So, like, kids that, like, don't go outside often, like, stay in most days and don't have any pets that are freely going in and out.
I have a real life example. So my cousins, their parents were very germophobic and stuff. They get sick at least 5 times a year. Every single one of those children get sick at least 5 times a year. When my brother and I, every once in a while, we may get sick once a year. Like, one time getting sick once with like a stomach bug for 3 days, deal with it with 3 days and then gone, compared to flu, strep throat, any other thing,
Everything else, yeah.
everything
Okay.
and its brother.
It's just, getting a chip is like such a like crazy thing to think about. Like, the government is.
I think it's because we haven't normalized it yet. That's the whole thing. Imagine like the first people getting a vaccine. Whoa, I don't want that in my body. Whoa. What are we doing here?
Don't even normalize
Well, we
it.
would start to normalize.
Just got an actual smartphone like 6 months ago.
Yeah, and like it's gonna be a good to think about a vaccine. Again, I'm gonna pull up the religion part. Like, you're gonna have all these people with these religions that say it's against my religion, I can't do it.
And then also think about all the people that live in more.
And that's fine. We have Amish people who are still don't use electricity. Or
what's the point of it? What is the point of it? No person who intends to murder someone is gonna be like, yeah, give me a chip. Give me a chip. Yeah, give me a chip.
No. Here's the thing. There's a huge amount of input lag and output lag. So if you want to search, let's say for an example, well, for one, a huge one is for kind of bionics. So if you have the loss of sight is one of the most magnificent things, right? All vision is stimulation through reflected photons through our retinas, right? So we can simulate that, going right to the brain and tricking the mind thinking it's seeing something. That might not be huge, crazy things. It's probably gonna be, freaking black and white, grayscale, but it's gonna be something. Maybe, looking like weird dots. But the fact that we can start changing things, people who have no arms or limbs, we can attach robot arms to them and let them control their arm like it was never gone. So first you have that factor, and then you have another factor. You have, if you want to search, let's say, what's the distance to the sun? Well, you have to go to YouTube, or not YouTube, Google, search it, and put the information. Now, who knows how long that's going to be stored, right? So now the next time when you're spot on, ask how far is it to the sun? You have to say, I don't know. So then you have to go search it again. But if you have a chip inside your brain, it can automatically search it, giving you the information right away.
Well, Brandon, think of the people who have the money to create this kind of technology. I'm talking Elon Musk, Bill Gates, even freaking Jeff Bezos. they're not going to want to allow other people to have the smarts that they have freely, willingly, at the literally not even the click of a button, the blink of an eye. Nobody's going to want to give someone that power, that technology, in a million years when they can just keep it for themselves. It's just like the cancer. Like there is a cure to cancer, but why would you share it with the world? Yeah. First off, you can keep it for yourself. Second off, you're going to earn a lot less money, a ton less money. When you could steal people's millions for chemo.
Mm-hmm. And like even with if you look at the statistics, actually the statistics don't exist on the internet for the public eye but Dad said that he found a science article that said they found a cure to HIV, but you have to go into a hypothermia, near hypothermia state, but you don't die. Most people would die if they had to get to that point. So pretty much this doctor had to do a heart transplant surgery on this guy who already had HIV, and when he came out, he got tested again, and he was negative. He didn't have it anymore because the virus doesn't survive under like a certain degree. So Dad's always made the joke, if I ever catch it, I'm going to dig a 6-foot hole in the dead middle of winter in Michigan, ask a friend to pull me out, wrap me in a blanket, and call 911. And then it'll be gone. As long as it gets under 60, under 60 degrees Celsius or something. I'm not sure.
That's warm.
Not Celsius.
No, that's hot.
Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
But
like
that news article isn't out anymore because science don't want. There's a percentage chance that you could die from being that cold, especially if you're that cold for too long. Two, there are millions of dollars going into getting paid, or people are getting paid to create this pill that slows it
or prevents other people from getting it.
Yeah.
And you're earning money from that. You're also like people that like donate stuff to like HIV research. That also funds the scientists like earnings yearly. So you think of these scientists earning like $100,000 a year for working on HIV, trying to solve these kinds of things. Well, why would I come up with the actual solution? I'll just slow the progress, span it out through years. That way they think I'm doing something, get the money, and then but I'll still be slowly giving them the information. So eventually, like in 30 years, they'll figure it out, but I'll be dead by then. So I'll keep my $100,000 a year and buy my nice Bentley and buy my beautiful, gorgeous wife. It doesn't make any sense. A Birkin bag that costs an entire house. Mm-hmm. Why not?
So you think they're keeping a secret? So wait, you think that we've solved majority of like? So we think maybe coronavirus, we've solved it, but we're just hiding it so we can sell it.
That's a lot bigger thing than
that. That is
like
a very new. That is a very new virus, and I feel like I feel like that there's already a cure for everything out here. We just don't use it.
I don't think we have everything, but a majority of things I believe have a cure. Cancer has to have had a cure by now, based on the statistics of like how we're progressing and how the research has progressed. We should be at the point where we have a solution to it, and I believe that we do. Chemo doesn't work for everyone. That's clearly not the solution. But I think that there is a solution out there that's either only offered to the elite for like super expensive. I'm talking like billions of bucks.
Or they made that substance illegal because they know it could be used for that and they don't want it used.
Or they just said, hey, we're going to burn all this, keep it in memory, and kill all the other people that know about this, and then I'm the only person who knows about it, and I die with this because I don't want everyone else to not have to pay for chemo when I'm already making money from doing the research and chemo and this and that.
Wouldn't the answer be worth like billions of dollars,
That's
wouldn't
the
this
thing. Like,
become
what
huge?
if
So
what if
where,
we made
why would they
people
settle with knowing?
Okay, here we go. There's a cure to cancer. Someone finally says, "Hey, I got this cure for cancer. It doesn't cost me $1 million to make it, but I'm gonna charge you $1 million because it's the cure to cancer." Okay, so we have all of these research companies that are going down. They don't need it. Okay, there's a cure for cancer. Our job's done here. What are they gonna go to? Okay, now we have to go find new jobs. That money that was used for research is gonna go towards like helping people who already have cancer get the antidote. Okay, it's $1 million for each person. How reliable is this too? We still have to do testing on, is this actually the cure for cancer? Did it just work once or twice in a lab? There's so much further work that has to be done. And then think about it. How much money some people spend on chemo? It's over $1 million, right? And all these people donating over $1 million just for this and that. Chemo is a forever ongoing thing that people feel like they have to take because, oh, I have cancer, this is the only way to get rid of it that we actually know of. So I have to do this, and they spend all this money on it. But people are going to be dying. People are still going to take chemo because it's less expensive, and until you get to a point where there is no other option, like chemo isn't working.
Right.
But the antidote it's going to cost a lot, and not everyone's going to be able to afford it. So they're not going to make as much because now people aren't taking chemo over all these years and they don't see the bill adding up necessarily.
Yeah. I feel like the health industry is just corrupted in a way, like in almost every country. Because if you have free healthcare for all, it's not that good. If you're in America, you don't even get to know what you're paying. If you go to have a baby, you will not know how much you're paying to have your medical bills will be until after you have your baby. And it can be different.
Is there anything that isn't corrupted?
No.
Is there anything that's not corrupted?
Probably not. Ours so
You know what I mean?
far, but wait a couple years and it will be.
I
Yeah.
feel like in some way, if you got a large group of people, it's going to be corrupted in some way. But as humans, we just want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Here's the thing. This is
world,
just the
we're
thing
like,
that's
well,
questioning.
They're saving lots of people from dying, so they must be good.
If the guy who finds a cure to cancer is mentally ill, I think if you find the cure to cancer, you won't have to pay another bill probably for the rest of your life. You would have so much money.
But Brandon, you have to understand.
Probably nonsense. So what are the selfish ways of human attract them to be money hungry?
Somebody that cured cancer has something to do with chemo, or they're getting paid to do the research. And I'm sure this person is like a freaking genius and has done the math that I'm not going to earn as much if I put the cure for cancer out there, or if they keep.
Yeah, because he's got nothing to work for, because he's got billions of dollars.
But that's so much better because now he can just live his life, slowly give them information and statistics, prolong it till after long gone is dead.
He has to work up 9 to 5 jobs to a job he don't even want to go to because he already knows the cure. He knows the job. He knows the cure. There's no point for him to go now.
Brandon,
you know what I'm saying?
It's such a frustrating thing to think that someone could come across something so great that could save so many lives, that they are so corrupted in the head because look what they have to look up to. Our government's corrupt. Our country's corrupt. Other countries are corrupt. Our entire earth is based off of corruption. And people are so greedy nowadays that why would you give everyone else a chance at a life when you could just keep all this money that you have for yourself when you would earn less over the cure of cancer? What happens when this guy dies? He doesn't get any of that money for the cure of cancer because he's dead. And you can't take money. Yeah, his family would. But I know this guy has no family. He has no motive to help other people. That's the thing. Sad.
So how did he get in the science field?
Exactly. He had no family. He spends all his time researching things and taking statistics and working on things and being in a lab all day.
So you're saying the cure of cancer is in the hands of someone who's super selfish, is what we're saying.
So I gotta say we give this person the benefit of doubt. What it's kind of like when you patent something, even after you die, it's your family that's getting everything, and then it's like you'll have family. If they do have a family, they have to worry about their family fighting over the money that he made from getting the cure of cancer.
This is all theory that the cure of cancer is really out there, but based on how you
Yeah. But like,
it should be out there. Like it should exist right now. Yeah.
so you're saying it should exist. It should
Based
be.
on how we've evolved and how
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
the research that we've
I
done, and
feel
all that
like-
stuff, it should be.
Okay, and you think the guy who
Yeah.
found it was selfish enough not to help anyone and become super rich billionaire?
If he might
Is that
not,
what the
that's
theory?
he might already be a billionaire. He might already have all the money that he needs and that he wants. And why would he say those people?
He's still going to job.
Yeah.
He's still going to work. Who in their right mind wants to go to work for it to know they're not going to do anything? You're like, oh yeah, I solved it. You know what I mean? It's like going to school for something you already know. If you go to math class and you already know, yeah, we're forced. We're forced. We can't just opt out to go out. You know what I mean? So he can opt out to quit.
You don't know if he has a family to take the money.
Let's say he has no family.
Where's
the problem?
We don't know why.
What do you mean?
We don't know why he's keeping it for himself or she or whatever. The idea
Why should they keep it for themselves? Is my question.
No, that's a terrible thing.
Why should?
Lives. But
Yeah, so I'm just trying to find why would they keep it to themselves?
If you were to take one of every plant in the world, there's gotta be some sort of plant or something. Which most medication is made out of plants. There's a plant out there that could do something to help out
Yeah.
these. And one of the illegal substances in our country has been researched in most places in our country has been researched for the past couple of decades, because my dad grew up in Michigan. I'm not going to say the names. I don't want to correlate anything, but he told me that they started up a plant before he was born on a research center, and they've been researching it. And if you go to a Dr. J.A. about it, they'll say, oh, there's not enough research. They've been researching it in multiple countries. They've been researching it in a lot of universities. Michigan State is one of them. And there's multiple ones in our country. Yet we're told, no one likes to tell. They want to keep it illegal and not, even though it helps relieve stress and relieve stress. Veterans who have PTSD are actually, which PTSD is a huge thing on why insomnia is bad, or it causes insomnia for a lot of our veterans, and which helps them sleep. And for chemotherapy, all the symptoms from chemotherapy tends to be cut in half using this substance. Yet it's
Why do we ban it?
doctor to, and a response from using it from a lot of VA hospitals is, well, move to where it's legal.
So the whole thing, like, there's so many beneficial properties to it. It's just kind of like, if medically you need it, then you should get it. And that's why some states are making it illegal. But you see the states that are making it legal, and they're kind of known for, like, drug addicts and, but some people do abuse it. That's
sad. And it's really sad that it's abused, because in the medical community, like, thinking about how much good it can bring, in my opinion, is like, you're always going to get bad out of something. There's always going to be something horrible out of anything. But is the good that it's doing worth it? Does it outweigh the bad? Is it really helpful?
Look at opioids. People saw this as, like, finally there's something to relieve all this pain. That a lot of people are having even after war and stuff like that, these surgeries, really big surgeries and stuff like that, like opioids at the time wasn't much research done on it. It just came from China. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, it's just
Okay.
so it got abused, and that's because we didn't do enough research about it. And I think people are trying to be really careful about this new. It's not really new, but like this, you know, reoccurring thing that's having all these healthy benefits. Well, opioids, you know, help relieve pain. That was a big benefit. But now it's just kind of like, well, I have a story from this lady that her son. Well, this was recent too, not like within a year or anything like that. Probably like 5 years ago. Her son had some big surgery, thing on his legs and like that, and they gave him opioids to relieve the pain. Well, he became addicted, and he didn't want to be. You can like there's commercials like you can become addicted to opioids within 5 days. So he's been taking these for months, and he's been taking them, and his mom didn't find out, so he had been taking them for years. And if he ever had any extra or anything like that, he'd sell them to his friends for $30 a pill. Why he did that, I don't know. That seems kind of messed up to me. But he didn't realize he had an addiction. He didn't realize that was a problem. If his friends were telling him that they had pain, oh, hey, this is a great thing that I use that the doctor gave to me. Like, really works. So here's this, you know? And so it's just toxic things like that people aren't aware of that I think people are trying to be really careful of. And there's already a problem with people abusing it originally. So I think you're just trying to be really cautious of, like, how can we limit people, but they can still have the benefits of it without it becoming abused. And they're weed shops. Like, it's just a thing. Like, in California, like, you just walk in and you can buy however much you want. The doctor can give you a prescription, or you can buy more. Or, and that's.
But with that on mind, it's been researched so long that they're trying. I know they're still researching today on finding ways to. Could we find a way to get that one? You divide up the substance. Is there a way to take away the addictive part, but keep in all the healthy part?
And that's in the whole point of this is like humans, especially Americans, have a really big problem with like self-control and like being able to say like this is enough and that's enough, you know. And I think that like if they did it like prescriptions, right? Like you know, you only get this much this month. People I think would take it a lot steadier and slower than all at once, and when they know that they can go back the next day and get more, you know. So what's
also really interesting is some that are prescription. Some of these people who do get it and then turn around and sell it, they're intelligent. They're some of the most intelligent people ever when it comes to business. Like they'll see what bare minimum they can take just so that they can sell the rest.
But there's also like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's called microdosing. And it's like, so if you take like small amounts of mushrooms, and they're psychedelic mushrooms, it actually like helps you to like come up with your next business idea. Like it's supposed to be like a way to like get your creativeness out and like help you focus and stuff like that. Now I don't think that it like works for everyone. There hasn't been a lot of research on it, but I think that they're starting to like really look into it. But I mean these are things that, like, there could be an abundance of. Like we could make a lot of this. So if there are any healing properties to it, I think we should jump to the moon for it, because it's just a lot of this seems like beneficial to a lot of people. But the only problem is us Americans and the rest of the world like to go too far and don't know when to stop. Like when you go get your Big Mac at McDonald's and you sit in your car and you eat all of that, and you're like, I gotta go for another one. Like
I gotta say, sugar is one of the most addictive things that a human being is addicted to. Like we're fed this since we were babies. Like even when you're given like the baby food, you're fed this all the time. Like there's sugar in everything that you eat in some way, shape, or form. Humans are addicted to it. It's And it's even at the problem where people get obese and you can get diabetes. Like but if you think about it, some researchers said that there are some properties in sugar that helps a child as it develops.
Okay.
But if we didn't,
mental
and if we didn't abuse it so much and didn't become addicted to it, and like I said, microdosing, like if you just took like small amounts of it, like as you go along, like in life and stuff like that, it's just not. It wouldn't be so much of a problem. And if we could learn a little bit of self-control, I mean, I'm not pointing anybody out here. I'm saying, like, me too. Like, but I feel like it's really hard for people to understand. Like, everything would be legal if we could just have a little bit of self-control. But people abuse things.
Which I also gotta say, when it comes to sugar, it also depends on what type you get, because plain white sugar is bleached when it's made, so it already has properties that's very unhealthy for you. If everyone were to move to brown sugar, which one has a bunch of minerals and nutrients in it from the sugar cane itself. Actually, when I bake homemade food, I prefer using brown sugar over regular white sugar. It shouldn't be brown sugar should be the regular sugar, and the regular other sugar should not.
Yeah.
But I still use it when I can. But
there's sorority up in here.
Yeah. But like, if you think using brown sugar. Moving over to using brown sugar actually is a lot healthier for my family. Plus, if you think about it, making homemade foods and stuff instead of all these factory-made stuff is a lot healthier in the way that they put preservatives, they put other chemicals that humans tend to get addicted to. Like, you open a little Debbie's box of little Debbie's, whatever. You eat one, all of a sudden you want to eat the whole box, and all of a sudden you're buying a bunch of boxes of little Debbie's because you're like, oh my gosh, I need this. And what you don't know is there's a bunch of preservatives that are very poisonous and that keep these things that are known to cause cancer. And like same
so is it bad?
Or any fast food restaurant.
These preservatives can keep things like good for like literally.
So should we ban them?
2 years. But when you ask,
should we ban them?
They should be banned. They're banned in households. Like my mom never let us have it wasn't sugar. It was just, you can't have little Debbie's. Like, you can't have goldfish. You can't have this. You can't have that. All these really over-processed things. She was really drawn to like organic stuff and like the Annie's brand. It's an organic company with like mac and cheese, and it's like no, sure it has a ton of carbs in it, but that's just mac and cheese for you. It doesn't have the preservatives. It doesn't have. My mom said, I'm not buying anything if I can't read what's in it.
Do they have benefits?
And I also got to say, what's also really sad about this is there's a lot of food from America that other countries won't even let in their over their borders.
Our meat is so bad, my dude.
Okay, I got to say another thing about meat. I grew up, for most of my developmental years and stuff, I never really ate meat from grocery stores. I ate venison with deer meat that my dad killed himself, because dad's always been avid like, if you're gonna hunt, you're gonna eat what you kill, because that it's wrong to do it by force.
That's really good for the earth too.
Yeah, so I grew up eating deer meat, and I remember that. I remember going to my grandparents and noticing that there was something that I didn't like about their meat, and clearly I could taste the part. I don't like going to McDonald's or any fast food restaurant. I'll still go because food, and some of it tastes amazing.
Right.
But like, I noticed that if I don't eat. I went to McDonald's after not eating there after a month, and I took a bite in it, and all of a sudden my stomach was cramping. I could feel my body trying to get it out.
That's just McDonald's foods in general.
Like, because it's
so
fast
processed.
food.
Because it's so.
And
But that's because you're used to deer meat. You know what I'm saying? If you eat apples every day for 3 years and you eat a pear, you're probably not gonna like it.
Oh
No,
no.
no,
If
no,
you
no,
eat a
no, no.
pear,
Completely
if you
different.
eat a
It's
pear
like-
and an apple every day and you eat a pear one
I'm
day, it's probably
allergic
be fine.
to certain ketchup sauce because of the preservatives that's put in ketchup. If at Ellis, oh great, I named school. At one of my middle schools, I had been using ketchup that my dad had bought, which one he looked at it and it didn't have. He kept straight away from ketchups that have preservatives. Like all ketchup has preservatives, but it had less of them. And so when I would eat the ketchup, I could literally feel my throat swell from the preservatives.
So okay, the reason why like you were at McDonald's and that meat tasted, or that like that hurt her stomach, is because she's eating this really fresh meat that is like so good. It's
fresh.
not it's not processed. They don't
Yeah.
put preservatives in it to make it last longer. This is like like you
Yeah,
gotta cook it pretty quickly because you don't want it to start rotting.
Or you put it in the freezer.
Yeah,
And
put it in the freezer.
okay, I gotta say,
But you see things like McDonald's, and they want that meat to last as long as possible because they don't know who's going to buy it and when.
okay,
So they load it full of preservatives. They over-process it. I mean, that machine is just churning and churning and churning.
okay. Also,
bad.
I gotta
30
say,
minutes.
I also gotta say, from eating chicken and stuff, I grew up eating dark meat because white meat is processed chicken. So I grew up eating dark meat. I grew up, if I ate cookies and stuff, they came from Mima's house because Mima made them homemade. Dad, we only use pure vanilla extract because other stuff, one, it doesn't do the same when baking. You can't do.
I'm lagging. Are you guys lagging?
No?
No. Yes.
I'm cutting out.
You're froze.
We good?
Well, now it's like freezing every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm good.
Yeah.
We can cut it there if this is just gonna keep on acting up. We already hit 30 minutes.
Oh,
We have.
we should just cut it in half.
You want to still continue?
Well, we could cut in half and have 2 15-minute videos if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's do. But anyways, it's.
Are we still lagging for you? All right, let's close it out.
Okay,
Are you good?
okay, I'm good. I think I'm good.
All right, let's just close it out for it's glitching again.
Just kicks us out.
Well, but overall, if you don't eat preservatives, eat food with as many preservatives, your body soon gets used to natural food that isn't that. Before we started putting preservatives into food, and I mean like the chemical preservatives, not natural ones.
Right.
It's healthier way. That's why you have these 90-something-year-old people.
Mamma mia.
Hey, well.
Final
good
thoughts, guys?
conversation, Yeah.
All right, well, that'll be the end of this episode. Any final thoughts or conclusions? We close it out.
There are so many
Self-control.
There's so many chemicals in it that cause so many diseases and illnesses in our country that shouldn't be allowed.
When you see like a drug is not a drug or something's not legal in the state, like nobody looks at like aspartame like a new soda. Like only now we're looking at that because it might cause cancer. Nobody's putting the research in. Nobody's doing the studies because they're just like, it's another thing that the Americans are getting addicted to or that we're getting addicted to. Oh well. But then we see other things.
Right.
It's like that can help us, but you don't
Right.
have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you made it to the end of the episode, welcome.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.